Hey y'all, if you like this Yule mist look, stay tuned. Hello. What's up everyone? Just a disclaimer, I'm not naked, I have a tube top on. So we're going right in. Today's kind of just like off the dome. I looked at some inspo pics, but nothing that was like exactly like this, so I'm just kind of rocking with it. So I am mixing a Japanese, it says whitening lotion. It's just basically a CC cream for your body that brightens, and then mixing it with some skin tint. Just get like a really sheer look. But I am going to go in with a ton of concealer. So I would say just go in with a foundation that's like a shade or two lighter than your own, or your normal one. Just so you get that nice pale look. So layer one of concealer. It is a high coverage light concealer. I am putting on my acne spots, the high points of my cheek, my nose, my forehead, my chin, all that good stuff. And from the cheeks, I bring it up to my eyes. This is to prevent a little bit of extra creasing. Just because I figured I was going to work in layers for this look. And then I have a blush bronzer. Oh, I blended all that out, by the way. Then I have a blush bronzer that's almost like a dusty rose of sorts that I am putting all over where I would normally put contour, just to kind of help create like a cohesive look. If I only put contour, I think it would look muddy. And with all the red I knew I wanted to put on, it was going to clash. This will kind of be a little bit more seamless, I think. A little bit more monochromatic, if you will. So I'm blending that out. Blend. Putting it where I would normally contour. No, nothing crazy. This is a pink undertone brightening concealer. It is also full coverage. I'm just putting on the spots that I think I need a little bit of love. Underneath my eyes, for example. Brighten those up. My forehead. Tips of my nose. And then in between my... Tips of my nose, plural. Tip of my nose. And then in between my eyebrows. I'm going in baking everything. I just use baby powder. No, today... I did not use baby powder. Today, I used the Kimchi Chic setting powder in Lavender. I always thought it was lavender. It's lavender, I guess. It's more of a lilac undertone. It's for brightening and whitening. And I thought because I knew I wanted to look pale, it would be a nice little touch. Taking some white mascara that I have, putting in my eyebrows while that sets. Really trying to get in there. I use the tip and get extra product on. I shape it with that, all that good stuff. If you make a mess, you can always use concealer to clean it up. Then I'm wiping away the bake, especially around my eyes. I knew I wanted to create like not a mask, but kind of like this C shape, but I didn't know how to start it. So this is me kind of brainstorming. So I'm just taking some True Red, putting in my crease, and building up a rounded shape at the end. Not a winged shape, a very rounded C shape that follows the natural curve of my eye. And then I have a red palette that I was deepening the red with. I think it's called Crush on You. It might be Sheet Glam. I've used it in a few of my videos. I actually really like that palette a lot. I am taking a small little smudgy pencil brush and creating that shape around my eye socket, but in a little bit more of a precise way. Then I'm taking some red and I'm skipping that gap where my eyelid meets the corner of my eye, and I'm going right along the bridge of my nose with the red pigment. I'm blending it out. Tip of my nose, across the bridge of my nose. Just looking at some... we'll say reference photos, but they're not really. This is kind of just coming off the dome as I'm doing it. And me kicking my camera, nothing new. Taking that small little brush again, going underneath my eyes. It's me just kind of brainstorming again, being like, yeah, this feels good. Let's do this. So there's going to be a lot of that in this half, or this part. Sorry if I'm really sounding unlogical or a little crazy. I'm very tired. While we're recording this voiceover, do as I do, not as I say, if you're in doubt. I have this kabuki brush that I actually really like, and it's a little travel size. So I'm using that to create this really sweet ombre connecting C shape on either side of my face from eyeshadow to cheek. Adding it on my chin a little bit, just again for cohesion's sake. Using different angles of the brush, different parts of the brush. And then I do have this like deep burgundy color that I was also dabbling in and going back and forth just to create a little bit more dimension within the colors. So I'm using a warm tone and a cool tone red. Cool tone being the burgundy, it's mixed with blue. And then the warm tone being the one mixed with orange, creating like a true red, like a phthalo red or whatever they say. And then I like this idea of creating like a weird shape where my brow bone kind of guides my hand to connect my inner corner gap to the C shape. So just kind of followed that. It's a very soft geometric motif going on, I suppose. Going back and, just perfecting those edges and the colors and making sure there's no patchiness and all that good stuff. Taking that same deep shade. It pulls pink on camera. It wasn't in person. But using that as my starting color from the edge of this shape I've created, pulling inward. My eyes kept watering. That's why I keep on shoving tissues in it, by the way. And I decided to take that all over my lid because I figured out what it was going to do. And then again, just perfecting everything, making sure it's nice. And then taking a true red, I accidentally put way too much on my cheeks. So that's what decided this next move, which is to put it on both sides way too much. And then connect it over the nose. Hey, happy little accidents. Who knows? You see me shrug there. I'm like, whatever. Taking some white eyeliner, putting it on my bottom eyelash line. Only to about halfway. Just create a little bit more interest. Pardon my alarm. I have to text my mom goodnight. And then using white eyeliner to create a wing. And I'm connecting it all the way in because I know I am going to use white eyelashes. And if you don't connect it from point A all the way to point B, it's not going to look, I'm going to say realistic, but you know what I mean. Like cohesive, like polished, we'll say. How about that? And again, you see me brainstorming here. I'm like, I'll connect it from bottom to top like they did in the 60s. Didn't look great. So went in with Q-tip, took it off. Doing the other side. And I did do a little bit more of a dramatic wing in size and shape, just because I knew the lashes that I was working with today are far too big for my face. So this was going to help kind of balance that out and make it look a little bit better and a little less, we'll say, eyesore. And then Q-tips are a girl's best friend. They fix anything and everything. Alright, this little shimmer is my favorite thing ever, I swear to God. Because it's so, I don't know what the shimmer word is for pigmented. Don't know why that's spaced out. I don't know what the shimmer word is for pigmented, but it's high coverage, perhaps is the way to phrase it, and it fixes everything and anything. I'm using a little concealer brush to create this little inner corner detailing, just to match the geometricism, if you will, of the top brow bone. And it's also very good to just go in and polish everything up a little bit more with a smaller, more dense brush. Me losing patience with my eye. And just balancing everything out to my liking. This is not any rhyme or reason. It's just whatever I feel like doing, I'm doing it. Taking some concealer and going in just to make sure there's no pink in between any gaps that I want of pigment. So that light concealer on the back of the hand, dip it in with a brush and go to town. It's also going to make your lines look really sharp, and your saturation is going to look better since there's such a difference in contrast of color. Just taking it, fixing any boo-boos. Again, just the top eyebrow bone. A lot of this is going back and forth, you know. It's kind of like painting. You do a little something, then you take something away, you do a little something. It's a constant back and forth. Then I'm adding it to my Cupid's bow a little bit more, or whatever that is called. That like gap on your top lip. But adding it there, again, just for cohesion. Taking some of that sparkle stuff, putting it wherever the gaps were, just wherever felt good. Now your anatomy might be different than mine. You might not want to do this. That's totally fine. Do whatever makes you feel good. Taking some of that same stuff and putting it on a finger and tapping it on my nose, just for a cute little highlight. And then stamping it on my eyelid as well. Taking whatever concealer was left over on that brush that we used earlier, and then blacking out the pigment of my lips, the natural pigment of my lips, just so it's better to work with this dark red. So I put it on the center of my lips and I blend out with my finger. You can use a brush if you really want. I don't have a lip brush, so that's that. And you'll see it creates this gradient towards the edge of the lips where it's not a hard line. So I would say play with that a little bit if you're into it. I just know this look for me was very soft and very, I was going to say subtle, but that's not the word. It's very soft, just very, very soft and translucent, transparent, a lot of ombre effect, a lot of interest visually. And then I took the Fenty Diamond Highlight and went ape on any of the red spots, as well as my natural highlights. So like my nose tip, my nose bridge, cheekbones, but also all the way to the edge of the red. Going in with that stuff again and just going crazy, creating contrast against the red. Using the same kabuki and just absolutely saturating all the pigment, that way it's not so patchy. Losing some of that sparkle in the process, but that's okay, you can always go back and add more. I'm using my fingers a little bit just to soften any edges or try to remove any pigment that was a little too crazy. And then going in with some concealer and just buffing that edge to make it sharper, as well as less harsh actually. Kind of messing with the saturation of that lower part. So creating a crisp line. And I felt like I looked too much like a puppet or something, or like a doll. So then I went in and I actually blurred that line a little bit. So while it's cleaner, it's also easier to work with if you want to kind of go back and undo something. Putting a dark berry gloss on top. Added some eyelashes. And then after I put on my wig and some of the accessories, I realized, hey, I needed to do my bottom lashes as well as my top just to blend them together because they were a little bit gappy. I don't really do eyelashes on top of my own eyelashes, fake eyelashes on top of mine. I do them underneath. I have a video early on in my channel on how I do them. But these were so big that they were weighing my eyes down and making them look a little droopy. So we tried it this way. My eyes are naturally green, so this red kind of worked, but, you know, use whatever color contacts you use. In a perfect world, I probably would have used white to look more ghostly. But this is the final product. This is a dress that I actually had from the Bridgerton Ball in Detroit, if you heard about it. I never posted about it. However, I did go. And then all these little accessories from around my house, besides the headband. So, yes, this is the final product. Thank you so much for watching. I don't know what I'm saying, but I think I was really excited. I think I was saying I need to go outside and shoot a photo shoot, and it was going to suck. So these are the pictures. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok at K_escapism. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and to you and yours. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.